Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Bailey Unicorn Vigo 2017 model or Series 4. So starting off at the front, you've got your hitch head just here and you've got your black lever. You have to have your black lever up when you're going to fit it onto a tow ball, and then you just slot it in and you'll see a green icon be pressed up. Now that will all be shown to you on collection date. You've got your handbrake just here, and then you have your electrics. So it is 13 pin. If your car has 7 pin adaptation, make sure you bring yourself an adapter prior to collection. It's also just slot into here and then you can twist it to the side. Then you've got your jockey wheel here, which is used to level the caravan up and down. You then have 2 inserts either side and 2 inserts at the back for your legs. The caravan comes with a leg winder, and it's just a simple case of lowering these down. You can also buy yourself a 19mm drill bit, attach it to a power drill and just make it that touch easier. Now, you don't want to attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs. Just level using the jockey wheel and stabilise using all 4 corner steadies. We're using our test equipment today here, so you can see just here is your plug insert for your mains capacity. Mains just plugs into here, nice and easy, and then it's locked into place using the top of that cap. Head around the other side. So we're not putting water through it today as it has just been drained off. However, just here is where you plug in for your water. So your water, you insert using your water pump, which I'll show you inside the caravan. Inserts into here, and then you can put this cap down like that, and that will lock it into place. The main thing to note is that the strainer, which is at the bottom of the barrel, the bottom of the water pump has to sit at the bottom of the water barrel. Just here is your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when you're operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice and clean and tidy. Then, using our test equipment again, got a propane gas bottle here. You can use butane if you prefer. I'd always recommend propane though. With a gas hose that is in date, so this is a 2023 dated hose, inserting onto this regulator here. You can hand tighten that to an extent and then just finish off using an adjustable spanner. Once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction. Motor mover will show you that on the day of collection. Just below here you have 2 inserts, which is where your wastewater from both your showers and your sinks will come from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master. And then lastly, we've got your toilet operation. So this top one here, take a pew for a second, that is for your flush capacity. So get yourself something like a watering can just to make it that touch easier to feed into here. Watering can fills up into there, can hold around 10 litres of water. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive to the plastic, because if you did use bleach it would just stain the plastic and possibly even corrode it. You feed the water into there and then that will operate for the flush. Then below it you have your cassette toilet. Make sure that your catch on your toilet is shut so that you can actually access this from the outside. There'll be a button next to your toilet that will flash up to tell you when the cassette is full. To remove it, you press up on this orange handle and pull out when you have the cap down in the correct position. Bear with me. Now you can see why they say practice what you preach. So make sure the catch is shut inside the caravan, lift up on this orange handle, pull out just like so. You can then extend this part out by just pressing up a little bit more and pulling out nice and evenly. Then when you get to your emptying point on site, you want to twist that head open up this cap here. Now this cap is important. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that button to vent. What I would recommend is after you've done that, open up that catch there, put in some fresh water like I've done, tilt, and at the same time vent, just to give it a nice swill out. I will do this and empty this before you leave. This cap here has measurements both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes inside of here, twist that onto the head back to the central position, push it back so that the orange handle sits behind these white teeth, and then you can see can't be removed without pressing up on the handle. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here you have a little bung which opens up and drains out any remaining water from inside of here. Underneath your right hand side bed you have this, which is your boiler just here. The main thing I want to note is that yellow switch valve just here. That yellow switch valve is for your water. It's currently in the vertical position, meaning any water that is inside the system is being drained out. You want to have that in the vertical position during winter, so from November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan. And anytime you come off site, just give the caravan a quick drain off. When you want to use the water, I don't know why I'm saying it with such enthusiasm, you switch it over to the horizontal position. Now, what we're going to do is keep it in the vertical position for you. You don't want it in the horizontal position during winter, as if there is water in the system, it will freeze the pipes and then burst. So that's underneath there. And then underneath the fridge, so you can see there, you have your trips and fuses. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. If a fuse is to blow or something like that, you can have a look inside your book pack and see what the corresponding fuse is for the board. Then just here we have the main control board, so this is next to the door. This is the on and off switch, so you press that on, everything inside the caravan can now work. Turn that off, nothing inside will work. You have lights, so, and then you have awning lights, so press that in, open up that door. Can't see it the best because it's bright outside for once in Britain, but awning light is on. You then have your pump button, so you have that pump button pressed in, you have this plugged in outside, which is the aforementioned water pump. This inserts to the outside. You can then put the cap down that I was on about to lock it into place. It can't be removed. You have just here, which is a plastic cap to go over the top of the acrow to make sure no nastiness gets in. And then this is the aforementioned strainer or pump. Your pump has to sit at the bottom of the water barrel. Now that is crucial, because if it's not, it's just going to gasp through air, it's going to make a horrible sound, and the taps aren't going to work. Sat at the bottom of the barrel, maximum potential of water will be able to come through. So once you have that plugged in and you've pressed the pump button, if you've not used the caravan in a little bit of time, I'd recommend waiting about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure your valve is in the correct position as well. And then you come over to your taps, you open it up on both hot and cold, and you let it run for about 30 seconds. And what you're after is a nice, steady, continuous stream. If there's any coughs or splutters, go outside and check that. Now, what you can do if you want to ensure that that's going to sit at the bottom is get some white PVC tube and put it around the pump to make it so it's nice and straight, because in all fairness, it is weighted, it will sort of flop to the floor, but if you just want that extra bit of reassurance, do it like that. So, coming back to this, you just press down on this button. I'll just press it just as an example to show you that the light comes on there. You then see just above, it says 13.8 volts. That is the amount of power coming into the caravan, as there's currently not a battery fitted. If it were a case that you had a battery fitted and no mains plugged in, that would show an accurate representation of the voltage coming from the battery. So in summary, on off switch, lights, warning lights, water pump. Yeah. Then here you have your other control panel. This is for your heating and hot water. This is the home screen. It shows the internal temperature of the caravan right now, which is 24.5 degrees, which is not the most accurate thing in the world, but it is rather hot inside this caravan right now. And not because of the heating, just because it's a lovely day in Britain. So, press this menu button here and make sure that your phone doesn't fall flat. Make sure, yeah, there we go. So, top row, you have your first setting that you can choose. That is for your internal temperature of the caravan. It's currently set to 10.5 degrees. Use up going with that one, and down going that way. It goes up and down in 0.5s. You can go to a maximum of 30 degrees, and it starts at a minimum of 5 degrees. Whatever you set it to is what the caravan will achieve. Now, it's not an instantaneous thing, but it takes a little bit of time, but it will achieve that temperature, and it will be dispersed evenly across the caravan. Excuse me. Next, you have the shower icon. Now it does phase out as well. The shower icon, you can either have mid or full. Now I'm just going to turn that off, because otherwise that's just going to ruin the boiler, because that is for the hot water temperature. When the bar is empty, that means it's not heating up the water. When the bar is at mid, that's on its eco settings, so it will get the water to around about 40 degrees and keep it there. If you put it full capacity, it will boost the temperature of the water for 15 minutes and then drop it back down to the eco settings. So that's ideal if you're wanting to use the shower in the morning or something like that, because it boosts it to a nice high temperature and then it stops. So it's not something you have to worry about. Once you put it on full, it will drop down. Next, you've got your energy source. So you have a few different choices. You can either run this off strictly gas, strictly mains, or a mixture of both. If you want strictly gas, you press this button here, lights up, and that is lit on gas. Now press that again, no heating system being used. Press 1 kilowatt of electric, 2 kilowatts of electric, or 3 kilowatts of electric. Now do be aware, some sites do not have 3 kilowatt capacity, especially if they are rammed. So just check with the site before you go that they have 3 kilowatt capacity if you're going to use that, because otherwise it probably won't work at its full capacity. So let's say I have it on 2 kilowatts, so that is strictly mains. Press the gas icon, that is a mixture. So it can be a mixture of 1, then we go 1, 2, or 3. I'm just going to keep it on 2 kilowatts right now. Then you've got some additional settings. I'm not going to run through all of these here, but a lot of it is simple. It has been set in a way which is nice and easy to use. If you want to have a look inside your book pack or watch some additional videos on these settings, be my guest. The main things to note, you can set the time, the date, the screen brightness, and the language. Press menu again here. Then when you've had enough of using the heating, or you're going away for a bit, press that button there, turns off the screen. Then just here we have your fridge operation. So for your fridge, you've got 3 choices of mode, and you select using this one. It's currently at central, meaning that it is off. Switch it over to mains, you can see the fridge light up, and that is running off mains. You can then use car battery. So that is when you're plugged in to your car with the 13-pin adaptation, and you can set it to that and it will chill whilst you're driving. If you have 7-pin on your car and you're using an adapter, it may not work just because it loses some of the power from it. But if you've got 13-pin, that's nothing to worry about. Then you have gas at the bottom. You switch that over to gas and you come over to these parts. This is for the amount of power coming into the fridge. The thicker the bar, the more power coming in. This is your gas igniter. You press that in and you press and hold these 2 in at the same time. just like this. You'll hear the gas gradually begin to tick in, and then you'll see this red bar gradually move over to the green. So there we go. Make sure it's nice and firmly in. Let go, and it will sit there. The fridge is now lit on gas. However, if I change it over to mains, it shoots back down. And then if I put it back over to gas, it may stay back, but it's probably a case you're going to have to press those two back in again. But nice and simple to use. Mains, car battery, gas. That is only for when you're using gas. This is for when you're using either mains gas or 12 volt, and that is a gas igniter. Then you've got your gas cooker. This works standard to any sort of gas cooker that you may have at home or have used previously. The only difference is it's got an electric plate. Switch it over to the side, the red icon comes up, and it gradually begins to hot up. For the gas, it's a case you press in on the dial, twist it to the side, the gas will feed through, and at the same time you have to press the igniter. So this is what it looks like when they are lit. And you can see here, nice blue clean continuous flames. Back to the central position, flicks them off. Show you for the grill as well, and you can see here both sides nice and lit. And then finally for the oven, let's see if I can do it with one hand. Let's see if I'm really all that trick. Come on. Press it in harder. 2 seconds. And here you can see what it looks like when it's all nice and lit. Then just put it back to the central position and turns it off. Only other thing to note, do not put down this glass sheet until all of these are cold to the touch, and don't travel with that up. And just for the toilet, it is box simple. Now, I did say that the cassette was full, so you will see that light come on when the cassette is full. You then have your flush button here, which you press in, and that will shoot out any water that is in the system. You will then open up the catch here. That opens up into the cassette toilet, pull that back, and it will shut it up. Now that light has gone just because I opened and closed it, and I think it was having a bit of a reset. But that's what the light looks like as a little bit of perspective even. But yeah, when you want to remove the cassette toilet, you have to have this pulled towards you, as otherwise it will just get caught and you'll just end up breaking it.